What is happening? Welcome to the Other D1 podcast. My name is Jordan Selfo. As always, joining me is Kyle Fishbeck. We got our week 3 preview. We actually have some spreads and over-unders for you to work off of. Thank God. That's what we did, something different this week. We told you about it on Tuesday's episode that we were going to split it up this week, and we hope it works out better. So we definitely want to hear your thoughts. And, Kyle, how are we feeling about week 3?
I think it's been good. A lot of FCS matchups. The money games have already run their course, so get to see which teams are for real and which ones aren't.
Yeah, for sure. We got our first conference game this week, but let's go ahead and dive into it. So we actually have a game. So we're recording on Thursday before this first game. So Northwestern State's playing on Thursday night at South Alabama over there in Mobile. The spread is 37.5. Over under 59.5. And Kyle, what are we thinking on this one?
It's a lot of points, but I want Northwestern State to get back on track. Unfortunately, I'm afraid South Alabama is a damn good football team, and they're going to struggle tonight.
South Alabama, we said money games ran their course, and then, of course, we start with a money game. Yeah, I mean, the spread being that high, obviously Northwestern State coming off of a tough loss last week versus Prairie View A&M, and we want to be supportive of the Southland Conference, right? This is a tough one.
No, you just want to go out there, give them hell for 4 quarters, and who knows? Maybe it's one possession game.
Yeah, 100%.
Moving into the Saturday slate here, we got our game of the week. Number 12, UIW, headed up to Illinois to play number 9, Southern Illinois. 6 p.m. kickoff at Saluki Stadium. First and foremost, the spread right now is currently minus 6.5 in favor of Southern Illinois. Over-under is sitting at 53.5. But yeah, let's back up here and talk about this mascot.
Dude, the Salukis, are you kidding me? That is the bougiest ass dog I've ever seen in my life. That's ridiculous. I mean, yeah, we're talking about an FCS team, and no, they're not in the Southland Conference. I mean, come on, the Salukis, pick a better dog than that.
I went and looked it up because I had to know. It looks to me like a mix between a Great Dane and some long fur of like a collie, but
or even a greyhound or something. I don't know.
Greyhound's probably a better description, but yeah, tall, slender dog.
A weak ass dog, and you got the Cardinals coming in, baby.
Coming in hot after a loss to South Dakota State. They're looking for blood. Let me rattle off a couple stats here about this dog.
Okay, all right, let's get into it.
Top speed, 43 miles an hour.
That's pretty damn good.
Has a coat that is considered smooth and feathered, whatever that means. A temperament that is aloof, but intelligent, reserved, and quiet. For that reason alone, I'm going to go ahead and make this my stamp pick of the week. Cardinals cover, plus 6.5. Let's peck them.
Let's peck them. Peck them Cards. Honestly, if you wouldn't have taken it, I would have taken it. I mean, Salukis, their 1-1 offensive productivity hasn't been real high these past 2 games. They've had low rushing and passing yards, but I like that stamp. Hopefully we can get you in the win column finally.
If it doesn't happen this week, then I'm going to hang it up for good.
Or we'll just tell everybody to fade you. Yeah, that'll be good.
In all seriousness, UIW is a great team. They showed that last week, even though the scoreboard wasn't great. Just too much athleticism. They're going to come out ready to play. I
think so too. I mean, it's tough go back to back on the road like that. I mean, those are 2 long trips. UIW, they got something to prove on the national scale. But we'll move on to our next game. We got the Grumbling Tigers going over to Texas A&M Commerce. A&M Commerce is minus 3.5. Over under is 50.5. What we got here, Kyle?
Really, really, really like A&M Commerce. I think they get in the win column this week.
And you know what? That's my stamp of the week. Let's go.
Baby. I like it a lot,
I'm stamping the Lions at home against Grumbling. I think this is going to be, especially with Ron Peace having the productivity that he had last week. What was it? 400 yards passing or whatever it was.
450, yeah.
Yeah, 459, I think. And I think A&M Commerce is going to come out hot, and they're going to get rolling real soon. So that's my stamp pick of the week.
Moving on, we got Louisiana Christian University, which is an NAIA school. They're headed to play Houston Christian University at 6 p.m. in Husky Stadium. We do not have a spread on that one, unfortunately. I suspect if it were available, it would be...
67?
38, 39?
More, it has to be more than that. HCU, they wiped the floor with them. NAIA school. We got to get back in the win column, boys. So obviously we don't have a spread, so we're not going to stamp it. I think this is definitely a win. A nice little confidence boost going into next week for HCU. And
especially with the uncertainty at quarterback they've had. Hopefully they get their starter back and start
yeah,
building, like you said, some confidence, some momentum on offense.
moving on to the next game, we got the 20th ranked Weber State. Always thought it was Weber State, but it's actually Weber State playing at Lamar over there in Beaumont. Weber is actually 12.5 point favorites with the over-under being 52.5.
This is going to be a dogfight, man. Weber's a damn good team.
Yeah.
I think Lamar's got a damn good team. I need to see some more out of Lamar's offense. So I really don't know which way I'm going to go on this one yet.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough one. I mean, 12.5, that's, I don't know, that's a big number. And, it's like that. It's a tweener. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Robert Coleman, he seems like he's a pretty competent quarterback and he can make the throws. And then you also have Kalen Griffin, he had a huge game last week. He ran for 197 yards. Yep. As long as, Lamar can keep up that offensive productivity, then, we'll see what happens. But yeah, Weber State, I mean, they're no pushover. I mean, they only lost to Washington 35-3. Which, I mean, that's a big time program, I mean, they got fucking Bill Belichick in their goddamn meeting rooms, and then they beat Portland State 43-16, and it was a dog whooping. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure how to feel about that one. I almost made Lamar my stamp of the week, but yeah, it's just it's a tweener for me. I can't do it. Pulling for the Cardinals.
Pulling for the Cardinals as well, and I think this will really tell us how competitive they're going to be in the Southland this year. Moving on to our next game, we got Eastern Washington headed to Southeastern Louisiana. 6 p.m. kickoff at Strawberry Stadium. Eastern Washington's currently favored by 6.5, over under 60.5. What are you thinking here, Jordan? As I understand, you're going to have boots on the ground.
I will be boots on the ground. I am headed to Hammond, America for this game. It's kind of been a family tradition for me. I guess it wouldn't be a family tradition. It's been a Jordan Selfo tradition to make the first home game of Southeastern season, with my dad being the head coach there. And this is my second stamp of the week. We're stamping it. We're going Southeastern plus 6.5. Can't bet against the Lions. Come on now. So I'm going with them. The 60.5 kind of scares me. I don't know if we're going to hit that number. I kind of like the under in that one. Eastern Washington's a good program. They've historically been good.
Oh yeah, tons of talent, and seems to me they're a hyper efficient offense. You're going to see a lot of screens, a lot of quick ball. I mean, the quarterback's got an 85% completion rate right now
with not that many yards either. So that, right. I mean, that just tells you they're just hitting quick passes, just moving the ball down the field. So they lost to Drake. That's a basketball school. What are we doing?
Yeah, not great there, but it was only a field goal. I don't know. Eastern Washington is going to be a good test, and obviously we want to see some more out of Southeastern's offense. Get the ball rolling there.
They definitely need to get more of a rhythm, and we'll see what happens. I mean, and then they had that Hurricane Francine literally came right through Hammond last night as we're recording, because they missed a day of practice. So we'll see how that missed day of practice affects them. But I still like the Lions. That's a long travel for Eastern Washington. But
long trip, first home game of the season, like you said, and I've played at Strawberry Stadium. It's not fun to play there as a visiting team.
It sucks. I hated playing there in college. Moving on to the next game, we got SFA playing at McNeese over there in Lake Charles, who luckily dodged the hurricane. SFA is minus 3.5 points with the over-under being 59.5. Another high total there. Where are we leaning on this one, Kyle?
First and foremost, this is first Southland Conference game matchup of the year. Big time game for both these programs. From what I've seen at SFA, I'm taking the minus 3.5, making it my stamp of the week.
Let's go. Stamp it.
We're going 2-0 this week. Call it now. And I just jinxed myself.
We'll see. Yeah, you mushed it.
Anyways, no, SFA is a good program. McNeese obviously couldn't really tell much from last week against A&M. They have talent, they have size and speed. I just think that SFA is a little bit more put together. They have a little bit more of a complete team, offensive, defense.
You know what I'm leaning towards on this one is under because of Micah Davey leading that defense. I mean, he is flying around. He's making a ton of tackles. And then, like you said, SFA, they got a good defensive squad as well. So we'll see what happens with that. I like SFA minus 3.5. Obviously, you got 6 killer. I think, you have to question at quarterback, where is Clifton McDowell going to come back, a little bit this week, or are we going to hold him out again for this week and then bring him back fully healthy for next week? No, yeah, I really like that stamp by you, Kyle.
Moving on to our last game of the slate this week, we got number 24 Nichols at number 11 Sacramento State. 8 p.m. kickoff at Hornet Stadium in California. Spread on this one is 9.5 in favor of Sac State. Over under is sitting another large one, 61.5.
Like the 61.5 because Sacramento State is a high-powered offense. But then again, I want to go back on it because Nichols' defense is damn good.
Yeah, I think Nichols' defense has been the highlight of their season so far.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, also you got old Guggenheimer, who showed out against LSU last week. Sacramento State, that's that West Coast style where they're airing it out and they're giving away points, and they just have to, score more than the other team. So I'm in between on this one. I think Nichols will cover. I'm not going to stamp it. As far as the over-under, I don't want to touch it.
Sac State's rolling out a dual quarterback system. So we got Caden Bennett, the senior, more of a dual threat. He got the start week 1, or he got most of the reps, I should say, week 1. Carson Conklin is a freshman. He got most of the reps in week 2. So it'll be interesting to see how Sac State manages that for week 3 and what their approach is going forward. Because in my experience, dual quarterback systems just don't ever pan out.
No,
I mean,
I hate
not in the long term. They might work for a short amount of time, but I'm not a fan of it.
Don't tell Frank that, but I fucking hate him. I hate dual quarterback systems. Sacramento State's number 11 for a reason, so we'll see what happens there. But that's all we got for our week 3 preview. Please let us know what you think as far as us splitting up the episode. I think it was better just to give you a little, short preview, and we can actually give you some spreads and over-unders. So, we love hearing from everybody, and good luck to everybody's bets, and thank you so much for listening and watching. Peace.
Yes, sir. Cheers.